Hello my crafty friends, it's Beverly here over at Crafting Chaos. Have you decided what you're going to make for Father's Day, your Father's Day cards this year? I was a little bit unsure, but I've decided that I'm going to go down the shape card route this year and I'm going to use my scan and cut to do this for me. So my theme this year is going to be golf, but you could easily translate that into something that would suit your dad and choose an image accordingly. So let's get to it. The first thing you're going to need to do is locate an image and also open your Canvas workspace. So go to your favourite search engine, open it, and we're going to go to Canvas Workspace. Now this is the file that we're going to make, so you can see how this would be a shaped card of a golf cart. And I've also created two matting layers, one from the front so that we've got the definition of the golf cart back, and also a matting layer for on top of that. Okay, so that's what we're intending to make. So let's get through those steps. Okay, so I'm going to go to create new product. I'm happy to leave the site because I know it's saved to my projects. So like I said, the first thing you need to do is go to a Google page, type in the search box golf cart silhouette, and find a nice, simple, clean image. By clean, I mean that's got nice, even edges that the scan and cut is going to trace nicely. You could choose something more complicated, but if it's not all one image, it's not going to. It's going to have the bits loose. Like, say, for example, the wheels on this cart aren't attached to the actual body, so they're going to cut separately, and you're going to end up with two parts. Okay, so first of all, what I'm going to do is I'm going to save the image, and I'm going to do that by going on right click or press as you do on a Mac and say save image as, and save it with a name to an area on your desktop where you are on your computer rather, where you will not be able to find it for the next step. I'm not going to repeat that step because I have already saved the image. Obviously you've seen the file. I'm just going to go straight to Canvas Workspace and show you how to do it. So I'm going to click back to Canvas Workspace. We'll extend the page and increase the size of the image of the map that you see, not quite so much. And we're going to start creating that image. So the first thing you will need to do is go to the tracing icon, because at the moment the image that we've got saved is either in a JPEG or a PNG, and we want it to be converted into a cutting file, an FCM file. So we need to go on the trace image function, which is this one here. From there, we're going to click a choose file. We're going to choose the golf cart and open, because that's what we've called it and that's where we've saved it. Now there's a couple of things we need to do here, because we want to trace round the entire perimeter and also the inner edges of the cart. Now if I just trace with and I'll show you what I mean by doing it and then you can see, if I just preview as it is on the default settings, it will probably just trace around the outer edge, and it has. So what we need to do is click on the colour. We want to remove the number of colours down to 2 because we've just got black and white, and I find that with a black and white image this seems to work the best. Now when we preview, hopefully we'll get the image traced inside and outside the cart. Now you can see that turquoise line is going right the way around the inside and the outside, so we know we're okay. Then I'm going to click OK, and I'm going to say no to this time because I don't want to save the image to my workspace. I just want the cutting file. Okay, and then it will load up that image on your file. Now when I move it, you will see underneath there's this bit here that we don't need. Now that's just one piece, and that's the part we do need. I'm going to make it more visible by going on View, Properties, and flood filling it with some colour. And I'm going to choose green this time, a mint green. It could be any colour. I'm just doing it to make it easier to see on the screen. Okay, and that's going to be a cutting line. Okay, now if you've seen my video before, you know I like to try to remember to assign lines so I know what I'm expecting them to do. Okay, so I'm going to move that away for now because I don't need it right at this moment in time. So the next thing I need to do is make a duplicate, and there's a few ways we can do that. We can either go on edit and then click this icon, which is duplicate. Or if you run a Mac, I'm not sure if it's the same for a PC, you can just click D. Okay, so when it's duplicated, at the moment, it's the same orientation. What I want it to do is be flipped so that it'll make a mirror image that can fold over to make the card. So I'm going to go on edit and flip, and I want it to flip on the vertical axis, so this bit ends up over here like so. Okay, so now you can see I've got the mirror image of both files. Now I could try to load them up by eye, but why would I when I've got a perfectly good software program to do that with me? So I'm going to select both images, and I've deliberately put them really far apart so you can see what I mean. And I've put them in the same selection, so selected all, and then I'm going to go edit and align at the top. You could do bottom, but I'm going to do at the top. Now I know that those golf carts are perfectly aligned. What I'm going to do now is click on one of them, and it really doesn't matter which one, and I'm going to use my arrow keys to move the cart image across. Oh, incidentally, just before we do that, we need at this stage to create our matting layer. So I'm going to click back onto that, click D again to make my duplicate, and put that off to the side because I won't need to work with that just yet. So now I'm going to, I think I've just moved that one a little bit when I clicked on. I'm going to click on trying not to move my image, and then I'm going to move it with my arrow keys on my keyboard until I've got a nice overlap to weld. So then I'm going to draw a box around both of them so both are selected, but this one isn't. And I'm going to edit and then process overlap, and it's this weld function that we want. Now that's welded our card together. If you want to put in a perforating line, you need to click on the node tool, which is here, and our path tool. Click and drag down with holding your up arrow key, so what you'd press for a capital letter, and drag straight down and then double click to anchor it. Now, as I can see, that's not quite where I want it in the middle. So what I will do is hover over and select the line and use my keys to move it across. So I'm happy that it's in the centre. Then I'll go to View Properties and change, oh, it's gone off again, just bear with me. Click it, change it into a cutting line and also a perforating line. Now I only want the perforations on this to be small because remember, those perforations are going to weaken that fold line, and as that's only a small fold line holding that card together, I don't want it to be weak. So I'm going to choose this one and I'm going to click off, and now you can see it's put me a perforating line there. Now, personally, I'm quite happy to put that on my scoring board, line it up with this V and score it manually. So I'm going to remove my line purely because I think that in this case it's going to make the golf cart that bit stronger. So I'm going to move it out of the way so I can easily select the line and then move it back up. So now I've just got my golf cart shaped card, and I know where I'm going to fold because it's going to be directly down by this point here to the base. Now, this is where this part comes in. Now, at the moment, if we look at the size of what we've got a card that's going to practically be 5 inches by 5 inches when it's folded. Okay, it might be slightly wider because this is 5.3, so just over 5 inches. And remember that top layer is going to determine the width and width and length of your card. Now, if you wanted to make it bigger, say maybe 5.5, you need to draw a box around everything. So you're selecting everything on the mat. Group them by doing edit and then group. Resize them all together so they're resized proportionally. Okay, then you can ungroup and you've now got your base card, which is fitting just about nicely on the mat, and your matting layer. Just need to move that one up ever so slightly so I can fit this layer on. Okay, so within the red bounding box, remember all your images have to be within this red dotted line, otherwise your file will not save. It'll say you've got a shape out of the area. Okay, so now I've got my golf cart. What I want to do next is create a matting layer for on top of the original front of the card, if you will. So when we've folded this up, because we've now got the definition still there for the back of the golf cart, and it's going to be 5 by 6. I think that's just a little bit too big, so I'm actually going to reduce the size just a little bit. So I'm going to group them again, decrease the size slightly, and then ungroup. Okay, so that's given us our card now. That's going to be just over 5.5 by 5.5. So it'll probably fit in a 6 by 6 envelope. So then we're going to click on the matting layer, and we need to make a matting layer for on top. So I'm going to go Edit, Create Offset, and this time, because I want the matting layer to be smaller, I'm going to move, first of all, to decide how much smaller, and I'm going to make it 0.08, and I need it to go inward. I'm going to make it rounded, and I'm going to say OK. So now you can see that we've got that layer, but we've still got this bit in the centre. So what you need to do is go Edit and Ungroup. That will ungroup those two parts for you, and then you need to Edit, Process Overlap and Divide. When you do that now, you should be able to remove that section, leaving your matting layer, which will fit beautifully on top of that one. And I'll just change the colour so you can see it to a darker green. And now you can see that we would have a nice minty green layer around our green golf cart. Okay, so that's the file basics completed. So I'm going to save the file in Canvasworkspace by giving it a title. So I'm going to call it Dad FD for Father's Day, and click on the second one across, overwrite the project, and that will save it to my Canvas workspace. Okay, so that's the basics of the card. I'm going to come back to do part 2, a greeting. So keep watching for part 2. If you've liked the video and you now know how to make a shaped card, like, share and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and also select the bell icon to be alerted when I upload a new video. Okay, thanks for watching. See you soon.